Liquor producers across the country are set to receive tax cuts worth up to $250,000 a year. The changes will triple the volume of liquor sales before a tax is applied. Brewers have welcomed the decision after losing around $1 billion in beer sales throughout the pandemic. The benefits will come into place on July 1.
This change will allow these small businesses right around Australia, and particularly in rural and regional Australia, where 2/3 of them are currently set up, to go and hire more people, to go and invest in their business, to grow, to get the new equipment and machinery that they need.
For more on this, we're joined live now by John Preston, CEO of Brewers Association. John, thanks for joining us. It's great news. Were you expecting it?
Thanks, Gab. Look, absolutely, it's great news. We welcome it. It's a good decision by the Prime Minister and the Treasurer, and it will provide a really tangible benefit targeted at those smaller brewers and microbreweries.
So before we get to the exciting stuff, tell us about last year. Just how badly were brewers and distillers impacted by the COVID shutdown?
Absolutely. Well, look, it was last year was a terrible year for many businesses, but for hospitality and the beer industry, it was particularly bad. We saw 44 million schooners of beer that had to be destroyed because of lockdowns, and as you say, $1 billion of lost sales across pubs and clubs in Australia. So it was a really a terrible year for pubs and clubs in particular, and for brewers. And that's why this is a great first step from the government, from the Treasurer, and we welcome it. But we've actually also asked the government to consider reducing the tax on draft beer, the beer that's sold through pubs and clubs, by 50% in the budget. We believe that will really help that hospitality sector that's really struggling and continues to struggle with lockdowns and other restrictions as they try and rebuild after COVID-19.
So you want further tax cuts, and is that because Australia has one of the highest tax when it comes to alcohol?
Absolutely right. Australia is a really high tax country for beer. We have the fourth highest beer tax in the developed world. And that beer tax keeps on going up. Twice a year, it continues to increase. And so, look, that's exactly right. We've asked the Treasurer to build on this first step that will help microbreweries and small breweries. We've asked for a 50% reduction in draft beer tax. And that will really support the broader brewing industry and also our hospitality sector as they try and rebuild. We've got a fantastic brewing industry here in Australia. It makes a huge contribution to the Australian economy, 100,000 jobs that we support through our supply chain, a huge investment in our farming sector through procuring the materials that we need to make Australian beer. 80% of the beer that is consumed in Australia is made in Australia. It's a great sector. And so, again, we welcome this announcement from the government. It's a great first step. It's a great thing for small brewers and microbreweries, but we are asking for a bit more targeted relief for the hospitality sector in particular at the budget.
This first step, as you describe it, how will it help the industry grow? And could this money be used for marketing, for example, to bring more people to different breweries and distilleries?
Absolutely. So I think the Treasurer made very clear in his announcement that this is about helping those small brewers and those microbreweries who have struggled through COVID-19. It's about protecting the jobs that they support. So I think, again, it's a really good initiative. We welcome the decision from the government. We're looking for a bit of extra support in the budget that will be targeted more broadly at hospitality and the broader brewing sector.
John Preston, CEO of the Brewers Association, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks very much, Gab. Appreciate that.